My name is Pastor Mrs Ayodeji Tolulope Adegbite. I am 60 years old. I got married at the age of 50 because of delay. I've spoken about one of the reasons why I had the marital delay, which was the spiritual aspect of it. Now I want to talk about the character aspect. And I want us to really pay attention to this. The Lord really helped me. I got a job after several years of infirmity to a beautiful company. And there was a time a particular man was employed as our accountant. Nice, amiable, but something in me did not really like him. Why? He joined us, and some of us that were there before him did not get the kind of benefits he got. So we all got angry. And because of the kind of person I am, personality, I don't know how to hide my feelings. So anytime the man comes to my office, I always made sure that I passed on my message to him by speaking to him rudely, saying some nasty things to him. It got to a stage that the man became so afraid to come to my office because he knew that I will give it to him hot. So most times he sends whatever he wants to do through somebody to me. And that went on for a very long time until I left the company. I'm still talking about character. So one day, after much prayers, I met a particular guy. He came all the way from the US, very nice, accommodating, kind. And he told me that time that what I wanted was marriage. I don't want a delay, I just want to get married to you. And the first thing he did was to take me to his parents, like we normally do. So after meeting his parents, he left for the US, United States of America, sorry. And one of the days I just decided to pay the family a visit, went to the market, I bought some nice things, and I took them there. When I got there, it's not like now, it was in the 80s. There was no generator, only lantern if they take the light, or candle. So there was this lantern in the sitting room that I could barely see. You could barely see with it. So when I came in, I met the mother, I met the elder sister, and one other guest. So I just greeted them and I walked straight to the kitchen to drop the things I bought. So while putting them in the places I wanted to put them, in the right places, I just had the door, I had a bang, and I felt somebody just left. When I came back to the sitting room, I sat down, greeted everybody very well, and I saw that the person I saw earlier was no longer there. I didn't even mind. So with a smile on Auntie's face, the lady asked me, I mentioned the name of our former accountant, and he said, do you know so and so? Initially, I couldn't remember because it was a long time I left the company. And I tried. Suddenly, I remembered the name. And I smiled. And with smiles on my face, I began to pour accolades on the man. I know him, very nice man, kind, wonderful. We were friends. I told a series of lies. And the sister was kept on looking at me. And she threw the bombshell. Said that was the person sitting here when you entered the house. And do you know what she said? What he said? I said, no, ma. He said it in Yoruba, I will interpret. Where did you see this person? Bolotiri Enitegbe Wole. And so she replied that that's the person Femi wanted to marry. That he brought her home. Said that one. Iye. Ino mo rara. Fire. You want Femi to marry that? I don't have hand in this, so me o lowo ninu e o. Femi to marry. You don't know this lady? This one cannot stay in our family. Oh. And he left. Immediately the sister said that, my heart sank. I knew I had shot myself in the leg. But there was nothing I could do. So I started smiling. It wasn't like that. This and that and that. And the mama spoke. The mother. I said, so you are like this and you are pretending. That was the end of that relationship. Nothing I did not do. I cried to God, I prayed. You know, before long they called him and they told him a lot of things. Even the ones that were not even there, they are dead. The guy came home. I tried to make amends, but the parents had already prevailed against him. And that was how I lost out completely. That's why I always tell people, let's be mindful of our character. Especially we that are looking up unto God for a relationship. Because you don't know where you will go. You don't know the person you will meet that will have a say in your relationship. Another thing happened. I'm talking about character. After that, I kept on praying. And that time I had already given my life to Christ, but not yet broken. There was this time I fasted for a long time. I think it was 7 days. Crying to God for a life partner. And my spiritual mother said, on the 7th day I should come over to her place for her to agree with me in the place of prayer. That God told her, I will answer you. I was overjoyed. So on the 7th day, I went there. I hadn't broken my fast. So when I got to her house, she prayed her heart out. I knew God had already answered by the way she prayed. She prayed her heart out. Oh, on my way back, still joyous, with that confidence that God has answered me, that I was going to get married that year or year after. I entered this popular vehicle called Danfo. As I sat inside, I can't really remember whether it was, you know, there is a lot of changes about our money. Maybe it was 1 naira or 10 naira, I can't remember. But I knew he was supposed to give me 50 kobo change. And when he gave me that change, the money was torn. And I looked at the man. I pleaded. I said, Oga, the 50 naira you gave me is torn. Can you help to change this 50 naira? The man replied me with something that shook me. He made a statement that angered me. And I forgot about what I just finished. I'm talking about the fasting and the prayers. He made a statement in Yoruba. I will interpret too. Ṣé ayé ẹ ṣó dájú owó tó yá yìí lọ? That is my life better than the torn money? It was as if I have never had such in my life. The devil turned it and re-echoed it in my ears. I sat down very well in that damn phone. And I looked at the conductor in the eye. And I said, conductor, look at me very well. You know when you have anointing without sense, you cannot control yourself. I looked at the conductor and I rained curses, I rained abuse on him. I told him at a point that, look here, you know when you have, and like I said, I even mentioned my name, I mentioned my address to the conductor. that look at me very well. Within the next 7 days, this is where I live. This is me. In the next 7 days, if this and this does not happen to you, that it means I'm not born of my father. Everybody started begging me in the bus. The more they were begging me, the more I got, the angry I got. I began to rant. I was uncontrollable. The anger was just coming. To the extent that it got to a stage, the driver had to park. And they were begging me. Suddenly, an elderly man came and asked what the matter was. And I told him my experience. And the man scolded the conductor and the other people joined. They scolded and they begged me and pleaded. So I entered back. We all entered the vehicle back. Some other people even volunteered to give me the extra 15 naira. People were bringing out 15 naira. Take. I said I didn't want. The conductor said I should take the whole money back. I said I didn't want. But because I didn't want to prove stubborn, I took back my change. When I got down at Ogba, I went to Ijudata at Ogba bus stop. And I entered a vehicle going to Ojota to go back home. I heard a voice loud and clear in my ears. Well done, my faithful servant. You have shown everybody that you are a great evangelist. You have brought people into my kingdom with your character. See the way you behave. Will people hear you out if you stand to preach to them? He said, now I intended to answer your prayers this year, but I've added 5 more years to your journey. I bursted into cry. I began to cry in that vehicle. There was a particular lady sitting by my side, and she looked at me, and she said something in Yoruba. Hey, ya. Ṣé wọn dàgbà ni? That is, the person that died, is it a young man or a young woman? I looked at her. I wanted to say something to her too. That was your problem. But I remember what God just told me. So I faced my front and I began to weep uncontrollably till I got home. The journey was more than 5 years. Please let us be mindful of the way we behave. Some of us, we have misbehaved in the presence of our helpers, and it has prolonged the days of our testimony. Let us be mindful of how we relate with others, especially in relationships. In your home, outside your home, in the church, anywhere you go. Let us learn how to behave well.